Okay, here we have the Samsung QN90F, the 55-inch version, which, as we all know, is not big enough. But that's neither here nor there. We can only work with what we've got. It's actually off at the moment, and yet here we have this thing called the Daily Board. So this is where you get a bunch of widgets on in front of some nice artwork. And that's set to just come on when people come into the room or at the sound of your voice. And as you can see, there's a weather widget there. You can leave notes to your family members. You know, remember to clean the dishwasher. Or you can jump straight into Samsung TV Plus. Or perhaps, watch a recipe. Or rearrange the widgets the way you want them. So so literally, this is the TV off. It's just being more than a TV. It's kind of being a home hub for you there, and we're monitoring some smart devices via that widget over there. So yeah, before we even turn the TV on, you can see that Samsung's really wanting this TV to be more than just a TV. They've taken that to the extreme, I have to say. And we've got this nice glare-free surface. While it's all black, you can see that pretty clearly. It's a bright daylight in this room at the moment, and you'll be getting very little reflection off that. If we go to this home screen here, you'll see that I've complained about how cluttered the Tizen home screen is before, and that you can sort of divide it into these different categories. So there's the live content that's available now. These are your apps that you can jump straight into, or we can just discover everything. And to be fair to Samsung, they do quite a good job of curating suggestions that are based on what you've got installed on the TV. So here, these are all the things that I've got queued up on my Plex server, for example, so I can jump straight into them. If we go down here, Apple TV, I'm subscribed to that. Netflix. So these are things that are either I'm halfway through watching or that it thinks that I might like to watch from those apps. So that's quite useful, and at least it's not a bunch of ads. It's not full of commercials like some other TV platforms do. So yeah, that's relatively useful. Now on this left-hand side here, there's this thing called Daily Plus, and so this is all just things that aren't necessarily super TV related. So as you can see, if you're subscribed to some of the various health and fitness apps, this is where you can access those quickly. And things get really crazy when we go into this thing called Stingray Karaoke. Now, all of those things are subscription features, of course, although you do get quite a long trial period with the karaoke app to see if you like it. And what you can do with that is, as you can see here, you can use your phone as a mic using the SmartThings app. So if I just bring that up here, if I should say, I would only be in your way. So that's all pre-installed on the TV. So the point I'm making is there's a lot that you could do with this TV that's not necessarily anything to do with the TV. And in fact, the way you control it is interesting as well. Of course, we've got the, by now, compulsory solar-powered remote control. That's great. Nice little device like that. But what if we look up on our Samsung Galaxy Ultra watch here, and we bring up the Smart Things app there, and as you can see, we've got a pointer now. And if I go, gotta remember how the gestures work. Here we go, and I've got back to the home menu. So I'm literally just moving that cursor around by moving my watch around. This is crazy stuff, right? This is crazy. Okay, so I've plugged an Xbox into the QN90F TV, and I've got it set so that game bar automatically starts up every time it recognises that a console is up and running, plugged into there, and you can do all your game fine tuning there if you're an expert gamer like me. I'm so expert. But yeah, if we just have a little look at how good that looks on this TV, you can see that you really get this for these 3D graphics and things. It's really quite immersive, and it looks totally crisp and clear. Sounds like a bit of action. So what have we got here? It's a sort of a home hub. It's a karaoke machine. You can control it with your watch. It's free-to-air TV with a bunch of Samsung TV Plus channels. So many features. And then I turned it on and I started watching my content, and I had to say I was a little bit confused because the picture looked terrible and I couldn't figure out what was going on there. And I watched a few episodes of a few things just in case it was one thing on one particular app that was causing the problem. But if we just bring up perhaps one of the greatest episodes of TV I've seen this year, if it wasn't the second to last episode of Andor, it was this third to last episode of Handmaid's Tale. And you can see here,
they wanted us to look like we've been dipped in blood.
I might just turn that down a bit
Some
so you can hear me.
In a red cloak.
So you can see how clear and crisp everything is, but see how it kind of looks a little bit washed out. And I can assure you that the first time I watched this, it didn't look that way. It seemed far more vibrant.
We took jobs.
And so what I'd done was I'd let AI choose the settings for me.
So we could be on trend.
Because they make a lot of noise about what AI can and can't do on this TV.
So we threw
But if I turn the AI off, I think you'll find that it just looks a little bit more vibrant. It might not be coming across on the video, but of course these classic red outfits that The Handmaid's Tale have become famous for, they just seem that much more red now, to me anyway.
So they assigned us color.
And the way I managed to do that was, although I was critical of AI just doing the picture for me entirely, what it does do is there's a smart calibration feature now. And by using a phone with the SmartThings app, you can literally just put that on some kind of tripod in front of the TV, let the TV and the phone go at it, and they will tune literally the picture to your room, to the surroundings. And it was once I'd done that suddenly the picture looked absolutely fabulous. And we were, I was right back into being a mega Samsung TV fan. So I think what I'm trying to say is that they can get a little bit too clever sometimes. I mean, cool that I can sing karaoke with my phone and the TV, I guess. But it would be nice if I could just turn the TV on and get a great picture straight away. But it looks like you will just have to have a little play to get those right. Similar with the sound settings, to be honest. There's all kinds of motion tracking now. The screen of the TV is essentially a speaker, and it will track the action around the speaker. But as I've said before with this feature on other TVs, you really only notice that if you're really up close to the TV. And it works much better when you use the Q Symphony function and you have a Samsung soundbar setup, or any soundbar setup for that matter. You can't use Q Symphony with any other soundbar, though it has to be a Samsung one. And then you really will get proper surround sound around the room. I've got to admit, I was a bit underimpressed with the sound from this particular model of Samsung TV. But once I tweaked those picture settings, they were absolutely fine. Overall, this is the everything TV that does perhaps far more than you really want it to.